If I told you I built a $200,000 S&P 500 portfolio over 6 years, you probably think I did everything right. But the truth, I could have been sitting on a whopping $500,000 if I had just done a few key things differently. What if you could have doubled your return with just a few smarter choices? Now, this video is not just a review of my portfolio. It's a breakdown of the few key mistakes I've made, the one that quietly cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost gains. I will also talk about what I would do differently today if I had to start over, not just with the S&P 500, but with how I thought about timing, consistency, and compounding. And finally, I would break down how I built this $200,000 portfolio, how much I invested, how often, and what actually worked, so you can use the same framework and improve on it. So whether you're starting just new or you've been investing for years, I promise you'll walk away with something that could save or earn you tens of thousands of dollars. Now, if you're new here, my name is Ace. I'm not a fund manager. I do have a finance degree. I'm also just someone who decided 6 years ago that I didn't want to stay broke, confused, or financially stuck. I started with just a few $100s and a lot of uncertainty, but I committed to learning, testing, and staying in the market. And today, I've built a $200,000 portfolio by consistently investing into the S&P 500. But here's the part I don't always share. If I had just done a few things differently, things I'll show you in this video, that 200K could be $500,000. Now, back then, I wasn't trying to get rich overnight. I didn't jump into meme stocks or crypto pumps. I was working a regular job, making regular money, and I just wanted to build a future that I didn't hate waking up to. So I did what I thought was smart. I invested consistently into IOO, a global ETF for the top 100 companies. It felt safe, diversified, and it felt long-term. So for years, I felt like I was doing everything right. I would check my portfolio and see it growing slowly, steadily. But I started noticing something weird. Friends who invested in more tech-heavy ETFs, their portfolios were growing twice as fast. Even when we started with the same amount, I thought, wait, what am I missing here? What am I doing so wrong that I'm earning half of what these guys are earning? Then one night, I ran the numbers. IOO had grown decently, but VGT or SMH, those tech-focused ETFs had doubled or even tripled over the same period of time. And that's when it hit me like a wall. I played it too safe, and it cost me serious upsides. The problem wasn't that I didn't invest, it was that I didn't understand when and where to put my investment in. I had no idea how different sectors move in different phases and parts of the market cycle, and I was blind to the whole bigger picture. I was only hoping for long-term averages to carry me upwards. And that's when I stumbled onto something that changed my life forever. The 18.6-year real estate cycle. And this cycle has repeated for over 200 years across every developed countries, and it has predicted every single major crash like the Great Depression, GFC, dot-com bubble, and COVID crash. It explains to me the rhythm of boom, bust, and growth, and more importantly, it shows me which sectors lead in which phase. For example, technology dominates during the first two halves of the cycle, commodities go up a lot during the end of the cycle, and defensive sectors also hold very strong during corrections. And here's what really clicked with me, yeah? Smart investing isn't just what you buy, it's when and why you buy it. So I went deeper. I started tracking where we were in the cycle. I studied sector ETFs, so for example, VGT for tech, SMH for semiconductors, XLE for energy, and XLV for healthcare. And I didn't want to become a trader. I just wanted to, allocate with intention, not blind diversification. Diversification is protection, but allocation is power. So I applied this idea in the last 24 months recently. I tilted more into tech-heavy ETFs during the market rebound. And suddenly, my portfolio wasn't just growing, it was compounding faster than I have ever seen. And while IOO went up by 50%, my tech holdings of Google, Microsoft, and Meta, and crypto also, sprinted up more than 130%. And in just over 1 year, The portion of my portfolio with tech exposure outperformed my old IOO only setup by over 100%. And the crazy part, it wasn't more risk, it was just better timing based on historical patterns. And once I aligned my portfolio with the cycle, everything started accelerating. Now, a quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. Everything I share here is only my personal opinion for education and entertainment. Always do your own research before investing. So, what would I do differently today if I had to start over? Number one, foundation first. I would still build my core with global leaders, so something like IOO. And this time, I would pair that with a focused tech ETF like VGT or SMH to really capture the innovation-led growth that typically drives the bull markets. So two, cycle-based rebalancing. So instead of setting and forgetting, I would rebalance my portfolio based on where we are in the 18.6-year cycle. So in the early phase of a mini cycle, I would lean into more real estate and tech sectors. But in the mid phase, I would include commodities, especially those that relate to technology and construction. And near the peak, I would store up more cash and transition slowly to more cash, gradually due to very heated market, but not forever. Just to have some ammo, some dry powder when the crash comes and assets go on sale. So for simplicity, here's what that could have looked like. Between 2018 and 2023, IOO returned 8 to 9% annually. VGT, it returned around 17 to 20% annually, depending on the exact entry point. So therefore, even a 30 to 40% allocation to tech during the right phase could have bumped my portfolio from 200k to 350k or even more with zero stock picking and zero leverage. And this is not just theory or hindsight bias, that's the foresight power of understanding cycles. Most people treat investing, like a straight line, just keep buying and hoping it grows. But markets move in cycles. If you understand when to lean in and when to lean out, then you don't have to be perfect. You just need a map. And that's what this cycle-based strategy gives you. Now, Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, the world's largest hedge fund, said this one thing. Everything happened over and over again through time. It's just a matter of where you are in the cycle. So if you do want to hear more about the cycles and learn more about my stock investing experience, subscribe to my free newsletter in my bio and description. Now, let's answer the final question. How did I build my 200k portfolio and how you can too? Let's break it down. I didn't inherit money. I didn't hit a lucky stock. I only stayed consistent. Over 6 years, I started investing around $100 to $300 a month at the start. And when I earned more, I contributed more. Some years I averaged 30k, some less. But I kept showing up. I reinvested dividends. I didn't try to time the dip. I focused on building the habit, not chasing the perfect trade. And was it fast? Heck no, I had no money starting out. I was just out of uni. Was it exciting? Not really. But now, that boring portfolio is worth $200,000. And if I had to start all over again with the cycle knowledge I have now, if I could tilt towards the right sectors at the right time, that 200k could easily be 500k or even $1 million or more. So is it realistic for you? Yes, but only if you commit to investing a few $100s a month, and if you avoid panic selling or FOMO buying, and if you study where we are in the cycle, then yes, you can absolutely build a portfolio like this. Maybe faster, maybe smarter, maybe slower. Definitely with more confidence is what I assure you, a lot more than when I started. But just remember this one thing. You don't need perfect timing. You need the right system and the discipline to stick with it. So there you have it. If you got value from this, make sure to subscribe and do let me know in the comment section your worst investing mistake and what you could have earned instead.